Early indications would say you're really going to have a bench that you can really depend on throughout the year.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. They bailed us out last night. Shannon and Steve bailed us out last night, But we're going to need more than just those two. We're going to need some guys behind Lamar and Pau, too.
What's going on with Fisher and Artest and their shots? I think they were combined fourth for 23 or 22 or something like that.
Well, I can't speak for Ron. He did some things out there that are always interesting. Had a couple breaks fast breaks that turned into slow breaks, and they got up to him. And he had balls he took away from Yao Ming, and then he tried to put a couple shots up underneath on Yao Ming. So you can't just count his attempts as he probably had 10 attempts in the night. Some of the multiple attempts were muff sequences, but Fish, he was just off. I mean, the little guy got underneath him and created some problems. He didn't clear himself, but he did some good things playmaking in the third quarter, and that's kind of how we wanted to use it anyway. So it worked out okay.
Before the game, you mentioned. So go ahead.
I was saying he didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. That's just a product of just how serious he was.
Yes, and how he's playing Brooks. We held Brooks to 6 points the second half, which is a good deal for us.
Before the game, you said this team was still going to be going through a learning process early on in the season. Was that part of what happened last night?
Yeah, I think some of that, but mostly on the defensive end. Offensively, he scored a lot of points. Defensively, that's not an acceptable game for us. We want to be in the 95, 97 range as a team. But, in the early season, things like this will happen.
Bill, did you ever imagine your first substitution of the season to be a rookie?
He didn't imagine it either. It was very unfair for him. I told both of them that they would probably play last night, and, he was the one that did.
What was the thought process with Jericho going in for Theo?
We haven't played Theo and Pau together. Theo's only played as a backup to Pau, so he hasn't worked with them together. I mean, we're pretty skeletal at the bigs right now, so just get through practice. Derek's been out almost a week, and so Theo and we played Ron a power forward. He does a fine job there, but. So this is the first time I said, well, I'll give it a chance to do it on the fly without them having worked in this situation, and it was okay. It didn't help us along, but it's okay.
Getting back to Theo, you said he had some tendinitis earlier in training camp, and then you also said maybe you saw him in the CJ Benga role, the limited minutes. He played 17 last night.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to need out of him while Andrew's out?
Oh, for sure. Otherwise, Pau's going to have to. Hopefully he won't have to go 40 every night, but he's going to have to be in high minutes, so we don't want to do that.
Coach, how do you transition from getting your rings and then to having to play your regular season game?
Not very well. Actually, we started out pretty good. I think we were 9-4 out. It got out of the blocks, but that first quarter was a struggle. We gave up 33 points. I thought the guys did really well, though. They were enthusiastic, and just playing the game was difficult as it is. They did a fine job rallying in the second half.